Okay, you guys, here is the video that I promised. Sorry I didn't get it to you yesterday. It's been a crazy day today, and I apologize for the coughing and everything that's going to happen as we move through this. But I wanted to go ahead and do the excelProject1 project with you. So if you go ahead and, when you get ready, log into your weekly assignments. We're going to go down to week 10, and we're going to open up Project 1. And we should be pretty good at this by now. We are going to click the Start button. And your screen's going to look like this. If you want to download the instructions and walk along with me, that's great. Otherwise, we're going to click on the Starting document. That is going to go into the Downloads folder. So we can click on the Show All. And when we do that, I'm going to minimize and then close all of these windows, so that I can easily bring that document over to my window. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to open this document. And first thing we've got to do is enable the content if you haven't done that already. And then I'm going to do a File, Save As. And then I'm going to browse to my desktop. And I'm going to change the 1 to a 2. And yeah, I've already done it, so you're not going to get this dialog box, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to say yes, and I'm just going to start all over again. So first thing they want us to do is to click on the company analysis page, worksheets, and they want us to use AutoFit to adjust the column to the width of the context. So we're going to select the column by placing our cursor over the A, which is the column header. And then we're going to go to Formats in the Cells group on the Home ribbon, and we're going to AutoFit Column Width. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Next, we're going to select cell A1. So if I select cell A1, I'm going to type in there Blooming Everywhere Delivery. Capital B-L-O-O-M, Everywhere Delivery. And then they want us to center. So I'm going to hit enter, and then I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to center that context. Excuse me. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to apply the heading 1 style. The heading 1 style is located in the Styles group. I'm going to click on the More button, and sure enough, there's the heading 1 style. So when you mouse over it, and then click it, and then apply that style to that cell. Next, we're going to make cell A2 the active cell, and type the word revenue, capital R-E-V-E-N-U-E. Hit enter. Next, they want us to merge and center the cells A2 through D2. Merge and center A2 through D2. So click in A2 to make it the active cell. Place your cursor in the middle of the cell. We've got a big, fat, white plus symbol. Press and hold the left mouse button down and drag to the right over to the D column. And then in the Merge and Center, we're going to click on Merge and Center. Next, they want us to clear the contents of E3. First, we've got to make E3 the active cell by clicking in the cell. And then in the Editing group, there is a Clear option. We're going to click on the Clear drop-down. And from here, we're going to clear the contents. And let's go ahead and click Save in the Quick Access toolbar to save the work that we've done before, or done already. Next, they want us to enter in some data. And we're going to do this starting in cell B7. So click in cell B7 to make it the active cell. And we're going to type 1800. Hit your Tab key, and that will move your active cell to cell C7. In cell C7, we're going to type 1950. Press the Tab key, and that will take you to cell D7. And in cell D7, we're going to type 2020 and hit Tab. And notice that the accounting format is going to be automatically applied to that content that we just typed in. Let's go ahead and click on the Quick Access toolbar. Click Save in the Quick Access toolbar. Next, we want to use the fill handle. And the fill handle is what I call my working smarter rather than harder. And notice that if we click in cell B8, so here's column B, here's B8. If I click in there, there is a formula. It says equals sum B4 through B7. So we're using the sum function, and we're adding together all of the data that is in cells B4, C4, B4, B5, B6, B7. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the fill handle to copy that formula over into the C column and into the D column. So the fill handle is in the bottom right-hand corner of the active cell. It's that little green box. And if you place your mouse over it, your mouse pointer changes from the fat plus symbol to the skinny plus symbol. Once you have the skinny plus symbol, click and hold with the left mouse button and drag to the right to D2. And that will automatically apply the formula sum C4 through C7, sum D4 through D7. It's all relative on where the original formula was. Click Save in the Quick Access toolbar. The next thing we want to do is we want to merge and center the range A10 through D10. So if I click in A10, make it the active cell, place my mouse over A10, click and hold with the left mouse button down, drag to D10, then I'm going to use the merge and center to merge and center that contents. Next, we're going to apply the accounting format to the range of B12 through D16. So first thing we've got to do is select the range by clicking in B12, hold that left mouse button down, scroll down to B16, and then drag across to D16. Once you have your range selected, we're going to go to the Numbers group, click on the Number Format drop-down, and choose Accounting. And let's go ahead and click Save in the Quick Access toolbar. Next, the Expenses table shows all of the company's expenses from 2018 to 2020. Bob wants us to calculate the total expenses by adding up the total expenses from each year. In cell E16, we're going to create a formula using the sum function to calculate the total of expenses in the range B16 through D16. So first, we've got to make the cell E16 the active cell. So let's click in E16, which is right here. And we're going to use the sum function. So we're going to start by clicking on the sum function over here. We're going to click on in the editing group, click on the auto sum drop down and choose sum. And then notice how it automatically creates and selects that range B16 through D16. So verify that it has B16 through D16 and hit enter. And then we should get a total expenses of $4,450. Next, we're going to update the formatting of the range A18 through D18. So first we've got to select A18 through D18, which is that merged cell. So by clicking A18, it selects the entire range. First thing we're going to do is we're going to apply the bold formatting. So we're going to click on bold. Next, we're going to change the font to Calibri. So on our font drop down, we're going to choose Calibri. And if it's not at the top of your list, you can scroll down there in alphabetical order. And then we're going to change the font size to 13. So notice that when we click the drop down for font size, 13 isn't an option. So I got to click in there, delete the 2, make that a 3, and hit enter. And that will apply the format size to 13 points. Next, we're going to change the font color. All right, so we're going to choose the font color drop down, and we want green, accent 6, darker 25%, which should be the second one up from the bottom. So column 10, row 5. and we're going to apply that formatting. And let's click Save in the Quick Access toolbar to save the work that we've done. Now, the company's competition and taxes have increased throughout the year, and Bob will only recommend continuing to grow the business if the profit increases every year. In cell B20, create a formula without using a function that calculates the profit earned in 2018 by subtracting the total expenses of 2018, which is in B16, from the total revenue in B8. All right, so first we've got to make the active cell B20. So here is B20, and we're going to create the formula that takes the revenue, so we start with the equal sign, the revenue that is in B8, so we're going to take B8, use the minus sign from B16, and hit enter. And we should have a profit of $8,455. Let's click Save in the Quick Access toolbar. Next, we're going to use the fill handle to copy that formula over into cell C20 and D20. So click in cell B20 to make it the active cell. Place your cursor on the fill handle. Your mouse pointer will change from the fat white plus symbol to the skinny black plus symbol. Click and hold with the left mouse button down and drag to D20. And as you can see, our profit increases each year. Let's click Save on the Quick Access toolbar to save the work that we've done. Next, we're going to change the tab colors. We've got two tabs. We've got a Documentation tab. We've got a Company Analysis tab. Making sure the Company Analysis tab is the active worksheet, we're going to right mouse click on the tab sheet's name, choose tab color, and we want orange in the standard colors. So there's in the standard colors, so the color orange. Once you find it, click it and apply it. And you'll see when we click over to that documentation worksheet, the Company Analysis worksheet tab color is now orange. All right, so let's make that Company Analysis worksheet the active worksheet again. This time we're going to select the clustered column chart. That's this guy right here. He's the object. So once we select that object, several things happen. First, the data that is used is highlighted over here with all of the little squares. We get two new contextual tabs, Chart Tools Design and Chart Tools Formats. First thing we're going to do is we're going to apply the chart style for the clustered column, and we're going to change it to style number 3. So if we go to the Design tab and we mouse over, we can see with our screen types, or screen tips, that style number 3. Once you find it, go ahead and click it and apply it. Next, we're going to move this chart to its own sheet. So again, on the Chart Tools Design Contextual tab, in the Location group, click on Move Charts, and we're going to choose New Sheet. And then instead of Chart 1, we're going to have 2018-2020 Revenue, capital REVENUE. Click OK, and that's going to add the new sheet with that chart on that sheet. Next, we're going to switch back to that Company Analysis worksheet, and we're going to create a 3D pie chart with non-adjacent cell ranges as our data. So first thing we've got to do is we've got to successfully select the data. To do non-adjacent cells, the first thing we're going to do is place our mouse in cell A12. So there's A12. Click and hold with the left mouse button and drag down to A15. Keeping the left mouse button still held down, hold the control key down, and then let go of the mouse. Place your mouse, keeping that control key down now. We're going to click in cell D12 and drag down to D15. Now I've got both of these cells selected. We can click on the Insert ribbon. In the Charts group, we're going to click on the Pie Chart drop-down, and we're going to choose a 3D pie chart. If this area in 3D pie chart is blank, that means your selection has not been made right. So go back and try it again.